let's shift gears to what was the biggest game of the day for a variety of reasons. Not because it involved a team or two with a winning record. It involved no teams with winning records. But it just had that feel of desperation for both teams. And it was a rematch of one of the great playoff games we've ever seen. The Bucs down 27-3 at home, tied up the game. Long pass from Matthew Stafford to Cooper Kupp allows the Rams to win the game in advance. And, of course, they won the Super Bowl. They get back together again. The Rams were 3-0 against Tom Brady's Buccaneers over the past couple of years. And the Buccaneers, they did what they desperately needed to do. Just get a win. 5 out of 6 losses. Could have been / should have been 6 out of 6, but for that ridiculous roughing the passer call on Grady Jarrett when the Buccaneers beat the Falcons. They had just looked awful since starting 2-0. They still don't look great.
No.
But they won. And they won with Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. And this is what I've been saying for a week and a half now, Miles. If they get a ticket to the playoff party, Tom Brady is going to do Tom Brady things in those postseason games. And he's not going to freak out. He's not going to get nervous or antsy. He's going to be right at home. It'll be game number 48 for him in his career in the postseason. That's what he did on that final drive. He's been in that position. He lives for those moments. That's when he is on maximum engagement, full alert. This is why I do this. I love moments like this. I love succeeding in spots like this. And he did. Took him down the field with not a lot of time left and got the victory by 3 points over the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments where it's just Tom Brady. And, like you said, it's what he lives for. It's what he's done better than any quarterback in the history of the National Football League. It's why he is the GOAT, right? He does those kinds of things. And, it's when you get the ball back, no timeouts, and the Rams just allow him to go down the field. I mean, they got 25, 30 yards on that first play. They have no timeouts. It's just, boy, I was hearing Jalen Ramsey talk after the game, and, he basically said that the Rams should not have had to send their defense out there a second time after they got the 4th down stop that preceded the drive that, the Buccaneers were able to go down there and score. And it's like, man, you're right, but you're also wrong. And I guess that kind of attitude is maybe part of the reason why they let up that touchdown in the end. Because it's like, if you think you're not supposed to be out there, instead of just saying, all right, you know what, it's in our hands, let's do it, then these are the kinds of things that are going to happen. And it starts to feel inevitable when just because Tom Brady's out there when it's not. But yeah, you just, like you said, Mike, if Tom Brady gets into the tournament, because of who Tom Brady is and because of what Tom Brady's done and the experience that he has and the just completely good player that he still can be, like, this is the kind of stuff that happens. You let the Buccaneers hang around, eventually Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does.
Well, because here's what happens. The regular season ends, and all this stuff that we've spent 4 months talking about, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lather, rinse, repeat, the engagement in the excitement, I don't want to minimize it. I'm just saying it all ends. It all goes away. It all gets wiped clean. It got us through the 4 months. It helped us enjoy the process of watching the games. But once the regular season is over, it's irrelevant. The records are gone. All that matters is where you are on that tree of the 7 playoff teams, if you got in. If you get in, are you the 1, are you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? The Buccaneers won the Super Bowl as the 5 seed 2 years ago. They would be the 4 seed if they win the NFC South, and they're currently tied with the Falcons at 4 and 5, and technically they're in first place because they beat the Falcons. So, here's where it does matter. It matters because for the teams that were good, it puts more pressure on them to continue to be good. The teams that aren't supposed to be there become very dangerous. They're loose. Yeah. We got nothing to lose. We've already lost the game. We're double-digit underdogs. We're going on the road to play the 1 seed, whatever the case may be. And think about Tom Brady versus Kirk Cousins if they would cross paths in the postseason. Who are you betting on? And Look, Vikings fans, I know. What was it? 7-1. Well done. Who are you betting on? Set aside the purple helmet with the horns. Set aside all the things you do to convince yourselves that you're content with Kirk Cousins. Ask yourself, Kirk Cousins versus Tom Brady. Who are you going to take? You're going to run and hide at the prospect of that one. So, and you could make that argument with, look, Geno Smith, for as great as he's been this year, what playoff experience does he have? Tom Brady's got 47 games. So that's why it's so critical. You could almost argue that it's going to be tougher for them to get to the playoffs than it will be for them to win games when they get there because they've got Brady. And Myles, the lightning bolt moment for me was during the fourth quarter of that game against the Ravens when they cut to the close-up of Brady, and it's like, that guy's still there. He may not be able to move like he did. He may not have quite the same oomph on the deep ball. He may look like he's lost a little bit of the flesh in his ass. A little skinny, a little gaunt. Still the same guy. And he's gonna thrive and relish that moment in the postseason the way that he did yesterday when he had a chance to win the game against the Rams. All that other stuff goes away. You get that one moment, and he knows that moment is coming, and he knows it's probably going to be his last moment unless somebody throws $50 million at him to come fill their stadium next year. And I'm not kidding when I say that. We can say he's not going to play next year, and then the teams that make business decisions make a business decision to pay him a lot of money because they know he'll fill up their stadium.
Yeah, he will. I'm interested to see what happens this week when they play the Seattle Seahawks. Speaking of Geno Smith, and it's going to be an international thing, and we'll see how that crowd in Germany reacts and all of that. But when you get to the moment where you have to execute, right? Is there anybody that you trust more than Tom Brady? No. There's just not, because nobody else has done it to that level that he's done it. And that's the problem with letting the Buccaneers hang around in any sort of game situation, right? If you give Tom Brady one shot, he's probably going to make it. If you let them hang around and you don't, destroy them, step on the neck, whatever, I don't know, analogy you want to use, when you have the opportunity to do it, then that's the result you're going to get. So it takes 60 minutes, a full 60 minutes to beat that guy and that team. The Rams defense played an outstanding 59 minutes, but that last minute, and it's in large part the offense's fault, I think. I mean, like, we can talk a little bit more about that, but when you give Brady that shot, it's really, really hard to stop him.
Before we pivot to the Rams, though, you made an excellent point about the next game for the Buccaneers. They're packing up the operation, and they're going to Germany, a place where there were 2 million ticket requests.
That's crazy.
For the game that will be played. 2 million. And the Seahawks are going to make the ultra-long trip from Seattle to Germany. I don't know, maybe so far that it's easier to go the Pacific route and not even cross the Atlantic. I don't know. It's probably almost a coin flip as to which flight takes longer. This is going to be a glimpse of what happens in the playoffs. Because, and I think back to Ben Roethlisberger after the Steelers played the Vikings 2012 in London. Roethlisberger was like, wow, man, I've played in Super Bowls and this felt like a Super Bowl. That's what this is going to feel like. It's going to feel like a Super Bowl in Germany. The excitement level of those fans, the buzz, everything about it, just the vibe. When you go to a Super Bowl, there is a palpable vibe that is far different from any other game. And there's going to be a different vibe. And who's accustomed to it and who's not. And this is a glimpse. So if my theory holds any water whatsoever, the Buccaneers will beat the Seahawks on Sunday in Germany. Because this is what I'm talking about. I kind of hope they do now, even though I've been on the Seahawks bandwagon. I kind of hope they do because it proves this point that I'm making, that when it gets to that single elimination vibe, that's when Brady's really going to step up. And it doesn't make for a great story. I always root for a great story. We were ready to throw the guy out of the league. We were hoping he was maybe he'll retire. Well, can you please retire? I mean, come on. It was the Michael Scott, Robert Dunder meme. Slam the door in the old guy's face and let him worry about how to get home. That's how we were feeling about Tom Brady. If he turns this thing around and has success in the postseason, That's one of the all-time great stories. If I'm not even going to say it, but if he does that thing that I'm not going to say and walks off into the sunset with the trophy I'm not going to name, you can't beat that. You can't come up with anything better than that if he would pull this off.
It's very Peyton. It's not very, but I mean, it's sort of Peyton Manning reminiscent in 2015, and this would actually maybe be a place where when Tom Brady says everybody says we suck and we can't win any games, he's actually kind of right at that point.
Well, and the difference with Peyton Manning was it never was like the excuse with him was he was physically falling apart. It wasn't. And with Brady, it's all this other stuff. It's on the field. It's off the field.
Yes.
It's just everything. It's bigger. It's bigger than the Manning thing in 2015. And
it is.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.